እንዴት ናችሁ የዩቲዩብ ቻናል ቤተሰቦች? በዚህ ቪዲዮ የኢኮኖሚክስ 2016 የካቲት ወር ላይ የተፈተኑትን የማውጫ ፈተና ጥያቄ ክፍል 5 ይዤላችሁ ነው የመጣሁት። ከዚህ በፊት 4 ፓርት ሰርቻለሁ። ይሄን ፓርት ያላያችሁ በዚህ ዩቲዩብ ቻናል ላይ ገብታችሁ ቪዲዮዎቹን ማግኘት ትችላላችሁ። በቀላሉ እንድታገኙ ሊንኩን በዲስክሪፕሽን ቦክስ እና በኮሜንት ቦክስ ፒን አድርጌ አስቀምጣለሁ። በዛ ውስጥ ገብታችሁ ቪዲዮዎቹን ማግኘት ትችላላችሁ። ይህ ፓርት 5 ነው ኦር ክፍል 5 ነው። ቪዲዮውን እስከ መጨረሻ እንድታዩ ቪዲዮውን ሲጀምሩ ላይክ እንድታደርጉና በቪዲዮዎቹ ላይ ኮሜንት እንድትጽፉ ለዩቲዩብ ቻናሌም አዲስ ከሆናችሁ ቻናሉን ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ የዩቲዩብ ቻናል ቤተሰብ እንድትሆኑ በሰብስክሪፕሽን ቦክስ ውስጥ ኦል የምትለዋን በተን በመጫን በየጊዜው የሚለቀቀውን ቪዲዮዎቹን ኖቲፊኬሽን እንዲደርስ እንድታደርጉ ላለኝ ቀጥታ አሁን ወደ ጥያቄዎቹ ገባለሁ። Question number 1. Which of the following doesn't describe the relationship between financial and economic analysis of a project? A. Both may also use sensitivity or probability analysis to assess the impact of uncertainty or the project's net present value. B. In both, the cash flow is discounted to determine the project's net present value or other measure of project worth. C. Both involves the estimation of project's cost and benefit over the life of the project for inclusion in the project's cash flow. D. Financial analysis of project goes beyond economic analysis of the project. So from this, which one doesn't describe their relationship? So the statement that doesn't describe the relationship between financial and economic analysis of the project is the one which is expressed at choice D here. So financial analysis of project doesn't goes beyond economic analysis of the project. This is incorrect because the economic analysis typically encompasses a broader scope than this financial analysis, and while financial analysis focuses on the project's financial return and viability from the perspective of the entity undertaking the project, this economic analysis considers the wider economic impacts, including social and environmental effect, and the overall benefit to the society too. Therefore, this economic analysis often goes beyond financial analysis, not the other way around. And here, when I describe this, the other options at A, both may also use sensitivity or probability analysis to assess the impact of uncertainty on the project's net present value. In case of financial analysis, it uses sensitivity analysis and probability analysis to understand the risk and uncertainty of financial projections and other impact on the net present value. And in case of this economic analysis, they also employ this tools to gauge the uncertainty of broader economic impacts and their effect on net present value. So when I summarize it, the statements accurately describe both types of analysis. So this expresses both this financial and economic analysis. In B, in both cases, the cash flow is discounted to determine the project's net present value or other measure of the project worth. So this is also correct because in this case, in financial analysis, they use discount cash flow method to calculate net present value, this internal rate of return, and other financial metrics. And in case of economic analysis, it also uses discount cash flow method to evaluate the overall economic worth of the project, including societal benefit and the costs. And this is also true for both cases. And in C, both involves the estimation of the project cost and benefit over the life of the project for inclusive in the project's cash flow. This is also true. In case of this financial analysis, estimates financial cost and benefits, that means revenues, expenses, and etc. over the project's life. And the economic analysis case, we estimate economic cost and benefit, including externalities like social and environmental impacts over the project's life. So this is also best describes the relationship between financial and economic analysis of a project. And in D, here, financial analysis of the project goes beyond economic analysis of the project. This financial analysis focuses on the financial viability and a return to the project sponsor. And in case of economic analysis, it broadens the scope to include economic, social, as well as environmental impact on the society. Therefore, this statement is incorrect. This economic analysis goes beyond financial analysis by considering a wider range of the impacts. Therefore, the statement that doesn't accurately describe the relationship between financial and economic analysis of the project is the one which is described at here, D, and D is the correct answer for the question. Question number 2. Which foreign exchange market participant act as clearinghouse between user and earner of foreign exchange? A, commercial bank, B, central bank, C, exporters, D, brokers. Here we have the pyramid, and there is this type of classification. At the top, there is central bank. At the top, there is central bank here, and there commercial bank at here, this part. The other is at the peak, there is central bank. At this, there is brokers here. Here is the brokers, and here there is exporters, importers, and so on. So from this, here this is the pyramid of this the market exchange, the foreign market exchange, and the structure or participant of the foreign exchange market constitutes this central bank here, the commercial bank, brokers, exporters, importers, immigrants, investors, tourists, and so on, and they are the main player of the foreign market, and the position is placed here as I have described in this. And at this, at the bottom level, at this part, the actual buyer and seller of the foreign currencies, exporters, importers, tourists, investors, and immigrants are placed here, and they are actual user of the foreign currencies and approach commercial bank to buy it. So at this, there is exporters, importers, tourists, and so on. And next, at this part, at the second level, there is commercial bank. And they are at the second most important organ of the foreign exchange market, and they function as clearing houses, thereby helping in wiping out the difference between the demand for and the supply of the currencies. And this bank buy the currencies from the broker and sell it to the buyers. So they buy the currencies from the broker and sell to the buyers. And in third place here, there is but the foreign exchange broker, and this broker function as a link between the central bank and the commercial bank, and also between the actual buyer and the commercial bank also. They are used as a link, and they are the major source of market information, and these are the persons who do not themselves buy the foreign currency, but rather strike a deal between the buyer and the seller on a commission basis. So this is at the third part. And fourthly, here at the peak, the central bank of any country is the apex body and the organization of the exchange market, and they work as the lender of the last resort and the custodian of foreign exchange of the country. And the central bank has the power to regulate and control the foreign exchange market so as to assure that it works in the orderly fashion. And one of the major functions of this central bank is to prevent the aggressive fluctuations in the foreign exchange market, if necessary, by direct intervention too. So from the listed, from this explanation, this commercial bank often acts as a clearinghouse between user and earner of the foreign exchange, and they provide various foreign exchange services to individual, business, and other entities looking to exchange the currencies. And the commercial bank facilitates foreign exchange transactions. They provide exchange rate quotas and help clients to manage their foreign exchange risk. And in addition to this, they also serve as intermediaries between buyer and seller of different currencies in the foreign exchange market. So the correct answer for this question is this A is the correct answer. The commercial bank acts as this clearing house between user and earner of foreign exchange. Next, why it is important to perform both financial feasibility analysis and economic feasibility analysis for a project. A, to ensure that the project is profitable and generate sufficient cash flows. B, to determine the project's impact on the environment. C, to identify potential risks and uncertainties in the project. D, to determine the project's market demand. So from this, the performing both financial feasibility analysis and economic feasibility analysis for a project is important because this analysis provides a comprehensive understanding of the project viability and broader impact on the environment. And the correct answer for this question is C. C is the correct answer. This when we perform both financial feasibility analysis and economic feasibility analysis of the project, it is used to identify potential risks and uncertainties in the project. But these all are what they use one part. They use or they include one part. That means either this financial feasibility or economic feasibility, but not both of this financial and economic analysis. In C, it includes the importance of performing both financial and economic feasibility analysis of the project, while in others it includes one of them, either a financial feasibility analysis or economic feasibility analysis. So in A, it says to ensure that the project is profitable and generate sufficient cash flow. In this case, financial analysis focus on the profitability and financial viability of the project, ensuring it generates sufficient cash flow for the stakeholders. It includes this part, but in economic analysis case, it may also consider profitability, but from the broader societal perspective. In economic analysis case, it mostly consider in the broader part that the societal part, the environmental or the societal part. So it misses that the economic feasibility part, but it includes financial feasibility part. In B, to determine the project's impact on the environment. That means when we perform this financial feasibility analysis, typically it doesn't focus on environmental impact unless they directly affect financial outcomes. And in case of this economic analysis, it includes environmental impact and evaluate the project's broader effect on the society and the environment. So the primary reason for economic analysis is here, but it misses what the financial feasibility part. In C, it is correct. It includes, when we say this, to identify potential risk and uncertainty in the project. Financial analysis assesses financial risk and uncertainties related to the cost, revenue, and cash flow. And in economic analysis part, it considers broader risk, including economic, social, and environmental uncertainties. Both types of this analysis involve identifying risks and uncertainties, making this a significant reason for conducting both analysis. That means financial and economic feasibility analysis. Indeed, to determine the project's market demand, when we perform financial analysis, it assesses market demand to project revenue and financial feasibility, whereas when we perform this economic analysis, it may consider market demand, but usually in the context of broader economic benefit and societal need. So from this perspective, this is not correct. Therefore, the correct answer for this question is this C, the most comprehensive reason why it is important to perform both financial feasibility analysis and economic feasibility analysis for the project is to identify potential risk and uncertainty in the project, and this is the correct answer for the question. Next, which one of the following is not the economic factor that determines economic development of a country? A, technological progress. B, natural resource. C, capital accumulation. D, governmental policies. So the economic factors that determine economic development are, the first one is, at A, there is technological progress. This is technological progress is a key driver of economic development as it enhances productivity, efficiency, and innovation across various sectors of the economy. So this is the critical one. And in B, natural resource. The availability and exploration of natural resources contribute to economic development by providing raw materials, energy, and other inputs essential for production and industrial activities. Therefore, this is also another factor. And C, capital accumulation. This capital accumulation involves the growth of physical capital stock, like this machinery infrastructure, which is crucial for enhancing production capacity and supporting economic growth. So this is also another factor, another economic factor which determines the economic development of a country. And in this government policy, while this government policy is critically important, they are more accurately described as institutional or policy factor rather than this direct economic factor, like technological progress, natural resource, or capital accumulation. So the correct answer for this question is this government policy is not the economic factor that determines the economic development of a factor, but it can be non-economic factor which can determine the economic development of one country. Based on the regression result given below here from this table, which one is true? Which one is true? A, the coefficient of PDMS is statistically significant. B, the coefficient of GDP PC is statistically insignificant. C, the coefficient of FDI is statistically insignificant. D, the coefficient of openness is statistically significant. So from this, by considering this table, which one is correct or which one is true? So when this we see this, the coefficient of PDMS, that means this part is statistically insignificant. Since looking at the provided information here, the p-value, that means this p-value, the p-value for the PDMS is 0.731. It is 0.731, which is greater than the typical significance level of 0.05, and thus the coefficient of PDMS is not statistically significant. It is not statistically significant because the p-value is greater than that of the alpha value, which is 0.05. Therefore, this is statistically not significant. So due to this, it is incorrect. This is wrong, or this is incorrect. The next, the coefficient of GDP PC, this part GDP PC is statistically insignificant. That means when to compare this or to analyze this, we have to also compare the p-value. So the p-value for the GDP PC is 0.000. That means here it is 0, which is less than the significant level of 0.05. That means the alpha value. Therefore, the coefficient of GDP PC is statistically significant. It is statistically significant, but in this it says insignificant. Therefore, this is also the wrong statement from the table. The next one, C, the coefficient of FDI is statistically insignificant. So to analyze this also, we have to compare the p-value. The p-value for FDI, this part, the p-value is 0.505, which is greater than the significant level of 0.05. That means the alpha value. That's the coefficient of FDI is not statistically significant. It is not statistically significant, and this statement is correct. So here, the coefficient of FDI is statistically insignificant. This is the correct from that table. And D, the coefficient of openness is statistically significant. When we compare the p-value with the alpha, the p-value for the openness is 0.333, which is greater than the significant level of 0.05. That means the alpha value, and therefore the coefficient of openness is not statistically significant. But in this case, it says it is statistically significant. Therefore, this is also another wrong statement. So the correct answer or the correct one from this table, depending upon the regression result, is the C is the correct answer. The coefficient of FDI is statistically insignificant, since this the p-value, that means 0.505, which is greater than that of the alpha value, which is 0.05. Therefore, this is the correct answer. Next, suppose country X and Y are belonging to the same custom union, and if country X replaces the low-cost import from country Z, which is outside the custom union, by higher cost import from a custom union member of country Y, what is the static impact of this custom union? A. Create trade diversion and result in inefficient allocation of resource and shift production away from comparative advantage. B. Create trade diversion and lead to greater specialization in production based on comparative advantage. C. Progress in trade creation and worsen the international resource allocation of resource. D. Progress in trade creation and result in increasing the welfare of the member country. Here, from this scenario, when we say trade creation, it occurs when some domestic production in a nation that is a member of the custom union is replaced by lower cost import from another member nation. And when assuming this full employment, this increases the welfare of member nations because it leads to greater specialization in production based on comparative advantage. Therefore, in the custom union, members eliminate trade barrier among themselves and maintain a common external tariff against non-member countries. And when country X replaces lower cost import from the non-member country Z with higher cost import from the member country Y within the custom union, it can result in either trade diversion or trade creation. And from the options here, when I come to A, create trade diversion and result in inefficient allocation of resource and shift production away from the comparative advantage. This trade diversion occurs when a lower cost producer outside the union is replaced by a higher cost producer within the union, and this can lead to inefficient allocation of resource and shift production away from comparative advantage. And this option seems to correctly describe the negative consequence of trade diversion. And in B, this create trade diversion and lead to greater specialization in production based on comparative advantage. This option suggests that the trade diversion leads to greater specialization based on comparative advantage, which contradicts the concept of trade diversion. And B, it contradicts the trade diversion. And trade diversion typically leads to the less efficient allocation of resource and shifts production away from comparative advantage. So in C, progress in trade creation and worsen the international resource allocation resource. This trade creation occurs when member of the custom union replace higher cost domestic production with lower cost import from the other members, and this option describes and this is the negative outcome of trade creation, which is unlikely. And in D, your progress in trade creation and result in increasing the welfare of the member country. This trade creation leads to increased welfare as member can access lower cost goods from other member of the customs union, and this option correctly describes this the positive outcome of trade creation, and this option accurately describes also the impact of trade creation too. So the most likely option here, the most one which describes the given scenario, is D. D is the correct answer for this question. When this X and Y are the same custom union, and if country X replace the lower cost imports from the country Z, this which is the outside custom union, and by higher cost import from the custom union member of this country Y, the static impact of this custom union is the progress in trade creation and result in increasing the welfare of the member country. So this is the correct answer. The next Breusch-Pagan good-free test is used to detect A. Heteroscedasticity problem, B. multicollinearity problem, C. autocorrelation problem, D. model specification error. When we say this Breusch-Pagan good-free test in primary used to detect this heteroscedasticity problem. Heteroscedasticity problem. So this is the correct answer for this question. And this test assesses whether the variance of the error in a regression model is constant across observation, and if the variance of error differs significantly across the observation, that means heteroscedasticity, it can affect the efficiency and the reliability of the regression estimates. And therefore, this Breusch-Pagan Godfrey test is specifically designed to detect heteroscedasticity in regression analysis. So this is the correct answer. The next, greater health capital improves the return to investment in education due to all of the following reasons except one. A, healthier students learn more effectively. B, basic hygiene and sanitation are taught in school. C, healthy students attend school better than less healthy students. D, a long life raises the rate of return to education. So when we want to answer this type of question, it needs some critical thinking, and we have to detect this each and every choices. And in A, when we say healthier students learn more effectively, this is true because this better health can enhance cognitive ability and overall academic performance, leading to more effective learning. So this is the correct one. It is the correct. And B, basic hygiene and sanitation are taught in school, though this can also be true because this school often include health education, including basic hygiene and sanitation practices, which can contribute to the overall health and well-being of the student. So this is also the true. And see, healthy students attend school better than less healthy students. This is generally true. This is generally true because these healthy students are more likely to attend school regularly, which can positively impact their educational outcomes. So this is also another truth. And in D, a longer life raises the rate of return to education. This is not directly related to the impact of health capital on returns to education. So while it is true that better health can contribute to the longer life expectancy, the statement doesn't directly address how health capital affects the return to investment in education. This is the correct answer. So all this at A, B, and C are a reason for return to investment in education, except this D. Next, which one of the following is true about the difference between Keynesian cross and ISLM model? A, in cross, marginal propensity to consume is less than the marginal propensity in ISLM model. B, in cross, both fiscal and monetary policy are effective, while in ISLM only fiscal policy is effective to affect income. C, in cross, investment is fixed and interest rate doesn't have a role, while in ISLM investment depend on interest rate. D, in cross, the change in income from government consumption is lower than ISLM model. So from this, which one is true about the difference between Keynesian cross and ISLM model? C, this C is the correct answer for the question, because here when we say this ISLM model, it describes how aggregate market for real good and financial market interact to balance the rate of interest and total output in the macroeconomy. And it is the symbol which stands for this investment saving, and this LM stands for this liquidity preference in money supply. To determine this, which is statement true about the difference between this Keynesian cross and the ISLM model, it is crucial to see this all choices. And in Keynesian cross, the Keynesian cross diagram represents the relationship between aggregate expenditure and the national income. And in this model, in this Keynesian cross model, investment is typically considered fixed, and the interest rate doesn't play a role in determining investment level. and it is primarily focused on the effect of fiscal policy on the income also. So this is about this Keynesian cross. And when we come to this ISLM model, the ISLM model integrates both the good market, that means represented by the IS curve, and the money market, which is represented by LM curve. And in this model, investment depend on the interest rate. Higher interest rates reduce investment, and lower interest rate increases the investment also. And it considers both the fiscal policy, that means through shift in the IS curve, and monetary policy through shift in LM curve, and as a tool to influence income and interest rate also. And here, when we see this, the option at A, and cross marginal propensity to consume is less than the marginal propensity in here. In cross marginal propensity to consume is less than the marginal propensity in ISLM model. This statement doesn't describe the difference between the two models in meaningful way, and both models can use the same marginal propensity to consume. And in B, in cross, both fiscal and monetary policy are effective, while in ISLM only fiscal policy is effective to affect income. This statement is also incorrect, because in the Keynesian cross, only fiscal policy is considered, while in ISLM model, both fiscal and monetary policy are effective in affecting income and interest rate. So this is also another incorrect one. This is incorrect. This one is also incorrect. And C, it is correct. And C, in cross investment is fixed and interest rate doesn't have a role, while in ISLM investment depend on interest rate. This statement is true. In the Keynesian cross model, the investment is assumed to be fixed and doesn't depend on the interest rate. And in ISLM model, investment is a function of the interest rate which change in interest rate affecting investment levels. So this is the correct one. And in D, in cross, the change in income from government consumption is lower than ISLM model. This statement is also not accurate, as it oversimplifies the dynamic between the two models, and the effect of government consumption on income depend on the specific condition and multiplier in each model. So when we summarize this, the correct statement about the difference between the Keynesian cross and ISLM model is: in cross, investment is fixed and interest rate doesn't have a role, while in ISLM model, investment depend on the interest rate. So this C is the correct answer. Next, which of the following statements is incorrect? A, impact evaluation is used to learn how to scale up a pilot project. B, impact evaluation is used to reassure funders. C, post and impact evaluation is used to decide whether to fund on interventions. D, ex ante impact evaluation is used to decide whether to fund on interventions. So from this, which one statement is incorrect? So to identify this the incorrect statement, also we have to evaluate each and every choices. And here, impact evaluation, the purpose of this impact evaluation is to measure the changes that can be attributed to a particular intervention or the program, and it aims to determine the causal effect of a project on the outcomes. And here it can be conducted at different stage of the project. And here we have different type of impact evaluations. And the first one is ex ante impact evaluation. It is conducted before the intervention is implemented, and it is used to predict the potential impact and decide whether to fund or implement the interventions. And the second way that we can evaluate the impact is this post and that means ex post impact evaluation, and it is conducted after the intervention has been implemented and used to assess the actual impact and outcome of the interventions. And evaluating each statement here, when we evaluate the statements, impact evaluation is used to learn how to scale up a pilot project. This is correct. This is correct. That means impact evaluation can provide insight into effectiveness of pilot project, informing decision on scaling it up. So this is the correct one. And the next, impact evaluation is used to reassure funders. This is correct also. This is correct also. So impact evaluation can provide evidence of a project success, reassuring funders about the efficiency and value of their investment also. So this is the correct also. In C, post and impact evaluation is used to decide whether to fund an intervention. This is incorrect. This is incorrect because we have already implemented the intervention, and this post and impact evaluation is used to decide whether to fund an intervention. It is incorrect. It is incorrect. So this post or ex post impact evaluation are conducted after an intervention has been implemented. It is not before that. So they are used to assess the result, not to decide on funding. It is used to assess the result. So in case of this post and impact evaluation, we are assessing the result rather than deciding whether we have to fund or not. So this is wrong. And in D, ex and impact evaluation is used to decide whether to fund an intervention. This is correct. This is another correct, because this ex and impact evaluation are conducted before implementing to predict potential impact and inform funding decision whether we have to proceed or not. So from the question's perspective, the one which is incorrect statement is here, this one. So this C is the correct answer for this question. Next, utility function of an individual is given by U, which is f of xy, which is equal with x to the power of 3 over 4, y to the power of 1 over 4. And what's the optimal quantities of the two goods? And it is given that price of good x is 6 birr per unit and price of good y is 3 birr per unit, and income of the individual I is equal to 120 birr. A, x is equal to 15 and y is equal to 10. B, x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 15. C, x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 3. C, x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 30. D, x is equal to 30 and y is equal to 5. So which one of this combination shows the optimal quantity of the two goods? So it needs some mathematical analysis. So here we have given parameters, the income, which is 120, and the objective here we have maximized this u, which is x to the power of 3 over 4, that means 0.75 times y to the power of 1 over 4, that means 0.025. And here we have subject to total revenue or TR, which is P of x times x plus P of y times y, which is here we have income, which is 120, and this price of x is 6 birr and price of y is 3 birr. So here we have 120 into 6 times x plus 3 times y, and here we have to take this the partial derivative, and the partial derivative of L with respect to x, which is 0.75 x to the power of minus 0.25 times y to the power of 0.25 minus lambda of 6, so which is equal with 0. And by rearranging the equations, we found this the general equation like this. And the ratio of first order condition, here we have the ratio of first order condition, derivative of this partial derivative of x L with respect to x to partial derivative of L with respect to y, which is price of x with the price of y, which is 0.75 x to the power of minus 0.25 times y to the power of 0.25 over 0.25 x to the power of 0.75 times y to the power of minus 0.75. And by rearranging the values, we found that the relationship between x and y. So the relationship between x and y. So y, which is equal with 2 over 3 times x. This is the relationship between x and y. And when we solve for equation, here we have the equation from this part, 120, which is 6x plus 3y. So here 6x plus 3y, which is 120, and when we replace y is equal to 2 over 3x in this part, 6x plus 3 times 2 over 3x, which is 120, and here we have 6x, and here we have 2x. 6x plus 2x, which is 120, and this part, which is 8x, which is 120. And when we take the ratio of this part, the value of x becomes 15. So 120 to 8, which is 15. And when we substitute this 15 in this equation, y is equal to 2 over 3x, and y is equal to 2 over 3 times 15. And this part is 5. And this part by 3 is 1. So 2 times 5, which is 10. Therefore, the combination is x is equal to 15 and y is equal to 10. And if we are asked to analyze the maximum utility, we have to insert this into the equation. We have to insert this into the equation here. We have given that u of xy, which is x to the power of 3 over 4 plus times y to the power of 1 over 4. So here we substitute the values x as 15 and y as 10. We obtain that the value of u, which is 13.554. Therefore, the correct answer for this question is x is equal to 15 and y is equal to 10. So here x is equal to 15 and y is equal to 10. So this A is the correct answer for this question. The next, suppose a country depreciates the domestic currency by 1% according to Marshall-Lerner condition if A, the summation of demand for export and demand for import is greater than 1, foreign earning will increase. B, demand for export rises by 1%, foreign earning will decrease. C, the summation of demand for export and demand for import is less than 1, foreign earning will increase. D, demand for export rises by less than 1% if foreign exchange earning will increase. The Marshall-Lerner condition states that a currency depreciate will lead to an improvement in a country's trade balance if the absolute sum of the price elasticity of demand for export and import is greater than 1, and this implies that the responsiveness of the quantity demanded for both export and import to change in the exchange rate must be significantly high. So this is about this Marshall-Lerner condition. And when I explain this each choice at A, the summation of demand for export and demand for import is greater than 1, foreign earning will increase. This is the essence of the Marshall-Lerner condition, which is correct one. And if the sum of the price elasticity of demand for export and import is greater than 1, the depreciation of the domestic currency will improve the trade balance, which leads to an increase in foreign earning. So this is the correct one. The next, if the demand for export rises by 1%, foreign earning will decrease. This is incorrect. This is the incorrect one. Because it doesn't capture the full Marshall-Lerner condition, and a rise in demand for export holding other factors constant would generally increase foreign earning. It doesn't decrease. Therefore, this is incorrect. And in C, the summation of demand for export and demand for import is less than 1. The foreign earning will increase. This is also incorrect one. This is also the incorrect statement. Because if the sum of the price elasticity is less than 1, the trade balance will worsen with a currency depreciation. It will not improve. So in this case, it says the improvement, but it is worse and worse. So this is incorrect. The other, the demand export rise. The demand for if the demand for export rises by less than 1%, foreign exchange earning will increase. This is also incorrect statement. This is also another incorrect statement because the increase in foreign exchange earning depend on the combined elasticity of demand for export and import. So it is another incorrect. Therefore, the summation of demand for export and demand for import is greater than 1. Foreign earning will increase. This is the correct statement. The correct statement according to this scenario. So this is the correct answer. The next, which of the following is not the criticism of Harrod-Domar growth model? A, it emphasizes the importance of human capital formation. B, it fails to consider change in the general price level. C, the model assumes that interest rate and price are constant. D, it failed to consider the effect of technological progress on the growth. This Harrod-Domar growth model is a classical economic model that emphasizes the relationship between saving, investment, and economic growth. It shows this the relationship between saving, investment, and economic growth. And at A, it emphasizes the importance of human capital formation. This is not criticism of the Harrod-Domar growth model. In fact, one of the criticism often leveled against the model is that it focuses too much on physical capital accumulation and overlooks the role of human capital and technological progress in driving economic growth. So this is not correct. It is not correct or not criticism. The other, it fails to consider change in the general price level. This is a valid criticism of this Harrod-Domar growth model. And the model assumes a fixed general price level and doesn't incorporate inflation or change in price over time, which can be a significant limitation. So this is right or correct criticism of Harrod-Domar growth model. And C, the model assumes that interest rate and price are constant. This is also a valid criticism. This one is correct. The model assumes constant interest rate and price, which may not hold true in the real world where these variables can fluctuate. But it assumes or it criticizes like this. And indeed, it failed to consider the effect of technological progress on growth. This is also another criticism. Harrod-Domar growth model doesn't take this technological progress as driving economic growth. Human capital and technological progress has no role in this Harrod-Domar growth model. So option A is the correct answer for this question. This is the video in this part 5 of this economics exam of 2060 on February, and I will come with next part 6 of this economics, and wait in touch with my channel to access these next parts. And don't forget to share the video for your friends, like the video and comment on the video also, and to become a member of this channel by subscribing to the channel and be notified by switching on this all button on the subscription box. Thank you.